Good morning, everyone. This is Kel from Kel Talks Chelsea. Nice to see you today on Sunday, considering the circumstances, especially considering the circumstances. Got a lot to go through, got a lot of notes to read through. I'm going to try and make it as quick as I can today. All right, I don't want to take up too much of your time on a Sunday, but if you can, it'll be lovely if you can like, subscribe. If you have the choice of hyping, do that if you want. But please comment, add your comments. I appreciate your comments. Love to have a chinwag. Let me know what you feel. Express your feelings, express your thoughts. Okay, but please like and subscribe, guys. Anyway, without further ado, let's continue with this. Where do I start? Shall we start with last night's game? Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1. Now, in my predictions for this weekend's games, my score lines and stuff, I predicted we would lose. Some people might have raised their eyebrows. Oh, you're a Chelsea fan. Why are you saying you're going to lose? Well, I think it's quite understandable why I keep saying we're going to lose games. Because the team is shot. The club is shot. There's no confidence. Just no ideas. There's no planning. There's no system. There's just nothing. There's no energy. There's no life. So I predicted a 2-1 defeat. I wasn't too far off. I probably expected too much from my team, expecting us to score. And again, nothing in the goal area. Zilcho. 1-0 it was to Manchester United, and they weren't great, and they didn't have a full team. Their defence especially was pretty much depleted. I mean, yeah, we've got players out injured as well, but it's not an excuse. But Man United weren't brilliant, but we were by far the worst of two not such great teams last night. We deserve nothing. We always deserve nothing these days because we're piss poor. That was a shocking performance. Dismal, dire, diabolical, disgusting, disastrous performance from our players last night. It was lifeless, energyless. Please, like every game we play, what was the system? What was the tactics? There's completely no confidence in that side. There's clearly no respect for their so-called gaffer, Liam Rosenior. Their minds have gone. Their souls have gone. They're completely empty of just energy. Their mojos, they're non-existent. So it's no surprise that we lost. Lackluster. It's just, there's no unity. There's no camaraderie. There's nothing. There's no all for one and one for all attitude there. There's nothing. I mean, recently, we've sort of been relying heavily on individual performances, a bit of individual skill here, a bit of individual brilliance there from someone. But even that's run dry. There's not even the individual stuff from any of our players. They don't play as a team. They don't play as individuals. They're gone. They're in the bin. They packed their bags. They've already flown to a holiday destination somewhere to get away from this hellhole. Yeah, that was despicable last night again. But it is no surprise. We get this week in, week out. And we've had it mainly the whole of the Liam Rosenior tenure. He's not the man. He never was the man. You keep getting people saying, give him time. He's even asked for time. Well, you've got to be worthy of that time in the first place. And he certainly isn't. Okay. He hasn't got the qualifications. He hasn't got the experience. He hasn't got the winning know-how. He's out of his depth. He's completely lost in this position. We know why he's here. It's not because of his attributes, his intelligence or experience or qualities or anything like that, because he has none. It's because he's a good boy, because he's a yes man. He won't cause any trouble for the owners. He'll keep that shut as and when required. He'll keep it open as and when required. When they say jump, he says how far and how high. He is an arse kissing, an arse sucking, good boy, yes man puppet. That's the only reason he's there, not because he's good enough for the job. Now, let me quickly go through his results so far. But we'll start off with the Charlton game back in January in the FA Cup. He wasn't quite the gaffer. He'd been brought in, but he was upstairs in the stands when we played this game away to Charlton in the FA Cup, and we won 5-1. So you can't put that game on him, really. So he doesn't deserve the plaudits for winning 5-1. Okay. It wasn't a particularly great game anyway, even though we won 5-1. So let's get on to his next one. Arsenal at home in the Carabao Cup, the first leg. We lost 3-2. We were extremely poor. Okay, it's still very early in his tenure. It's his first proper full game. But we were poor, okay? He didn't set us out particularly, okay? We had a couple of little spells in the game, but apart from that, we were poor. Then we played Brentford at home in the Premier League. Now, we won this 2-0. And we're extremely fortunate. When I say extremely, I mean extremely. Brentford were hard done by going home losing 2-0. Very lucky we were. Then, there's no excuses for this one. It's Paphos, the Cypriots, David Luiz and all that, yeah? In the Champions League at home. Now, it was another disgusting performance against absolute minnows of the Champions League. Probably the worst rated team in the competition. If they weren't the worst, they weren't far off. We won 1-0. Oh, it was Ballsville. The football was terrible. Then we went away to Crystal Palace in the Premier League. We won 3-1. Okay. Terrible first half. It was back and forth. People losing the ball, people giving the ball away. I mean, I believe they had a player sent off, which helped. We had a slightly better second half and come out 3-1 winners. But overall, a little bit fortunate. Still poor overall, even with a better second half. Then we went to Napoli in the Champions League. Great second half. First half, pants for both sides. Both teams weren't very good. But second half, we come out. João Pedro, he pulled us out of the mud in that game. Not Rosinia. But we won that 3-2. Then we had West Ham at home in the league. We went 2-0 down in this, and we were awful. We were awful. And it weren't his tactics, Rosinia's tactics, that changed it, that brought the comeback. It was some of the players actually decided to roll their sleeves up, pull their socks up and give it a go. And I give it to the team, not Rosinia. We come back and won 3-2. Now, we come up against a tough opposition again. Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. The second leg away. Oh, God. We left it till about 70 minutes before we tried to do anything. By that time, we were 1-0 down. It was too late. We were already 4-2 down on aggregate. He made some terrible substitutions in that game, Rosinia. Brought certain players on he shouldn't, took certain players off he shouldn't, brought players on too late, etc., etc., etc. Terrible in-game management again. I mean, he hasn't got a clue of in-game management. So we lost that. Too little, too late. Far too little, too late. Then we had Wolves away in the Premier League. We won 3-1. Team rock bottom, shocking. And they were shocking at the time. This is before their little half-decent spell. This was when they were proper in the mud. And they're proper in the mud again now, but at the time they were shocking. We come away 3-1. Poor performance. They had so many chances. We were quite lucky to come away winning 3-1. Let's put it that way. Poor performance again. Tactics, whatever, system, everything out the window. Now, Leeds at home in the Premier League, drew 2-2. Extremely poor in that. The football was dire again. Boring, slow, predictable, sideways, backwards, no idea, no energy, lifeless. Drew 2-2. Terrible. We were lucky to come away with a draw and a point. Oh, but then we get Hull City. And this is when the plastics and the toxics started kissing Rossinia's butt, because we're playing Hull City from the Championship away in the FA Cup. We won 4-0. And it wasn't a breeze. The 4-0 scoreline. We were lucky with that. We scored 4 goals. We could quite have easily conceded 2, 3 or 4 ourselves. It wasn't as dominant as the scoreline says. So we're lucky there. Then Burnley second from bottom, terrible. Right, going to go down. At home, drew 1-1. We were terrible. The football again was dire. Excitement, entertainment out the window. No sign of it. Then we had Arsenal in the Premier League away. We lost 2-1. Poor performance. Absolute useless. I mean, Arsenal weren't great that day, but we were just less great, let's put it that way. So another shocking result. Then we go to Villa. Okay, first half, terrible. Second half, we come out great. We won 4-1. All right, that second half performance, yeah, we deserved to win. So I give him that one, but it was only 45 minutes. Then we go away to Wrexham, another humongous club, right, in the FA Cup. This one went to extra time, and we were lucky to even get into extra time to go on and win 4-2. Extremely fortunate. Everyone must have trodden in dog shit, because the luck was on our side and we didn't deserve it. Poor performance again. Poor. Couple of individual things here by players that dragged us out of it. Again, there was some terrible in-game management in that match. He hasn't got a clue. Then, next game, PSG away, first leg. Okay, we lost 5-2. We weren't playing brilliant. We were sort of holding our own. One stage it was sort of 2-2. And we thought, hello. And then we capitulated. There were some extremely dodgy substitutions and decisions on field by Rosinia again. Howlers by Jorgensen. And we collapsed. We capitulated. But, you know, the last sort of 20-25 minutes, we were woeful. Then we played Newcastle at home in the Premier League. We lost 1-0. Dire. Hardly had a sniff at goal. Didn't deserve a thing. And this is an out of sorts Newcastle. A Newcastle team that don't know whether they're coming or going. Eddie Howe, you know, the ship was already starting to rock and very big waves for him. Their run of form, dreadful. But we still managed to lose at home to Newcastle, I think for the first time in donkey's years. Extremely poor performance. Poor in-game management again by Rosina. Didn't have a clue. Then we played at home, the home leg to PSG. We got beat 3-0. Players didn't even come out on the pitch. They were lifeless, energyless, no effort, shocking, terrible. It was a breeze. It was like a training session for PSG. So that was another 3 goals shipped. 8-2 on aggregate, got spanked, embarrassed, completely mullered. They wiped the floor with us in Champions League, and out we went with our tail between our legs, whining like little bitches. Terrible. Again, terrible in-game management by Rosinia. And he's giving instructions with 2-3 minutes to go. He's having words in Caicedo's ear with 3 or 4 minutes to go. He's handing out little tactical notes to Garnacho with 3 or 4 minutes to go. He's still sitting there writing stuff on his pad. What you writing, mate? You're just trying to look clever, important. Just trying to look like you know what you're doing. You're not. You're a freaking rabbit in headlights, mate. You're dog shit. Okay. Then we played away to Everton in the Premier League. Lost 3-0. That should have been 5 or 6 or 7. They should have scored that day. They let us off lightly. Poor again. Poor in-game management again by Rosinia. Didn't have a clue. Got outsmarted even by David Moyes. Actually, I think David Moyes didn't give him enough respect there. I think he's an all right gaffer. Much better than Rosinia. Got outsmarted. Anyone of any experience or quality that he's come up against, i.e. managers or head coaches, he's failed miserably. Another one. Then we played the absolute might of Port Vale. At the time, bottom of League One, the 3rd division in English football. We won 7-0. And it was nothing more than a training session for us. They You would have thought they would have turned up and enjoyed the day and give it all. They were terrible, Port Vale. And yeah, we won 7-0. Gee whiz, wow. Let's all like cream ourselves over it. All the toxics going, oh, Rosinia's a genius. He's amazing. No, put your tissues away. Stop rubbing yourselves, all right? Stop spanking your monkeys over a 7-0 win against Port Vale. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing, because it's always win, lose, draw, blue co out. So that was that, okay? But then we come up against another quality side, Manchester City. Now, people say, I thought we'd done all right to hold our own in the first half of that game. But the truth is, Manchester City didn't even get out of first gear. They weren't even awake. So we struggled to break through them when they weren't even awake. Now the second half come. Bosh, they woke up, their eyes opened, the candle was lit, bosh, the energy was there, and they smashed us. They could have scored 5, 6, 7 goals in that second half. We were terrible. Again, terrible substitutions and the timings of the substitutions. Not even switching our style of play, not trying to change it up to combat what they had come out like. They come out full of energy and life and just intelligence and skill and power and strength and everything and determination. We come out with nothing. We come out drinking out of a sick bucket. But that showed the limitations of Rosini. He just doesn't know what to do when things get tough. He doesn't even know what to do from when the first whistle blows. So when things get tough, stands no chance, does he? And then, of course, last night, dreadful again. Losing 1-0 at home against a patched up Man United team at the back, you know. How do you explain it? You think this is good enough? Let's have a look at this. There's some facts. No clean sheets since January the 17th in that 2-0 win, that lucky 2-0 win against Brentford, right? No clean sheets since January the 17th. Haven't scored a Premier League goal since March the 4th. It's a month and a half since we've scored a Premier League goal. Lost last 4 Premier League games without scoring. Great form, isn't it? You're happy with this? You want to give this guy time? There is no time. In the Premier League, in professional football, there is no time. And there is no time for someone like him because, again, he deserves no time. He should not have been brought to the club in the first place. Not qualified, experienced, not a winner. Doesn't know, out of his depth. So anyone says he needs time, he doesn't deserve it to start with. Should not be there. Do you understand that? Should not be there at all. He's not there because of his class and his quality and all this. I told you, he's there because he does as he's told, because he can be controlled without any issues. Another poor gaffer brought in. Should never have had Potter. Should never have had Pochettino. Shouldn't have really, even though Maresca that is the best of the bunch Blueco have brought in, right? Shouldn't really have brought Maresca in. But he's leaps and bounds above Rosinia. Even, Potter, even Pochettino, are way above Rosinia. Rosinia, out of those 4 full-time gaffers, is the worst by a gazillion miles. He is, I would say bad, but he's not. That's an understatement. He is ridiculously, woefully disgraceful as a head coach. He hasn't got a clue. Is it last 8 games, last 8 Premier League games? This is our current run, just our last 8 games, all right? How many have we won? 1. How many have we drawn? 2. How many have we lost? 5. Is that the form that you want? Is that form good enough to keep this man in the job that you shouldn't have in the first place? Goals for 8. And 4 of them come against Aston Villa in one game. All right. Against 14. We've got 5 points from the last 24. Let that sink in. That's great form, isn't it? That's a coach worthy of keeping, isn't it? A coach that, again, should not be here in the first place. Overall, his record is 22 games. He's won 11, so he's won half of them. He's drawn 2 and lost 9. But let's have a look at some of those wins he's had. Charlton in the Cup. Paphos in the Champions League. West Ham at home, which you should expect to win. Wolves, you expect to win. Burnley, you expect to win. Right? These are some of the games he's had. But the wins, Wrexham, yeah. Okay. Hull, Charlton, Palace and stuff. It's just... even most of his games that he's won are games you should expect to win all day long. So it's not overly impressive, is it? You take all those home bankers and what have you, all those games you expect to win out of the equation, it just shows how poor his record is. But yeah, 1 win in the last 8. Shouldn't be here. The team and players. No plan. It's evident. There's no plan. There's no system. There's no unity. There's no bond. What are the tactics? It's the same old dross. Move it forward, sideways, backwards, forward, sideways, backwards. And do it as slow as you can. Lack of movement, lack of energy, lack of intelligence. There's just a lack of entertainment, a lack of skill, a lack of ability. It's dire. The confidence. These guys are not just confident, unconfident because of them. They're unconfident of what they have to put up with. What are they learning all week? They're probably sick and tired of just learning the same dross shit in training all week long. They know they're getting out on that pitch thinking we ain't going to win this game with what he's been telling us, what AI and data have been telling us, what the directors have been programming and scripting. They haven't got a clue. They're out there. They're confused. He's told us to do this, but that don't work. And he said do that, and that doesn't add up. What's going on? We're screwed. We just got to try and play ourselves. They're just going out there like guys that have just met up, strangers, at a local rec, a local park, and have put their jumpers down for goalposts and having a kickabout. That's what they're playing like. And they're trying to ad-lib on the pitch. But unfortunately, we haven't even got the quality on the pitch to be able to ad-lib. Anyone with quality has been affected by this cancer as well. So the individual skills and ways out of a game have gone. There's nothing there. The team is dead. They have no trust, no faith, no respect in the process with Blueco, with Rosinia, with AI and data. They're sick and tired of it. You can see it in their body language. You can see it in their faces. You can see it in their eyes. You can see straight through their eyes into their souls. And no, they are dead in here. And if this ain't working on the football pitch, it don't matter how good your feet are. It ain't gonna work. And it ain't working. You need this first. And that's gone. That's gone in all the players. Our, elite, wonderful, world-class squad that we've got. Hey, Frankenstein, Finkelstein. What you mean, our 4 or 5 really top quality players, which aren't all fit? Yeah. They've gone. They've gone. They've had enough. So even the individuality's gone. Cole Palmer, Esteval, he's gone off it now. He's injured as well. Esteval. Neto hasn't played well for months. Garnacho, shit. João Pedro had been struggling. He was missing. You had the plasterer, the builder, the bricklayer, the odd carrier playing last night. Invisible again. 2 goals all season. 1 in the Premier League, 1 in the Champions League. Oh, it only cost 30 million. Still a waste of £30 million. It's a waste of our time. That's our backup striker, Liam DeCrap. That's our backup striker. That's what 2 billion spent on a squad gives you. a pile of shit championship £30 million striker. And look what we got on the bench. He's the only striker we got on the bench after 2 billion spent. Mark Gui. Wow. That's good transfer business by the directors, isn't it? That's good transfer business by AI and data. That's good transfer business by Blueco and Clearlake. Yeah, and the players we have got, what little quality they've got, they're lost, they're shot, they're done, they're dry. There's no lube there. The players are literally running mentally and physically on empty. That gas tank, gone. Out of fuel. As I say, the players clearly have no faith, confidence or respect in Rossini, and rightly so. Anyone doesn't need a professional footballer to know. Just us, normal, loyal supporters. No, he's not worthy of the position he is in. What do you expect? Yes, his in-game management stinks. I mean, people say, oh, you can't blame him for everything. No, but he's there. He's the one to be shot at, all right? He was employed by Blueco, so you can have a go at them for the majority of it. But he's there. He's the front man, so he's going to get the flack, all right? Don't take the position if you don't want to take the flack, you know? The subs, the lack of subs, the choice of subs that he makes, the timing of subs, the inability to change up during games, to fight against how your opposition's playing, to compete against them, doesn't know how to play chess on that football pitch, does he? He just does not know how to change things up. He doesn't even know how to set the team up in the first place. And we all know that's mainly down to AI and data. But he's still partly to blame. That stuff again where I said he's like barking out orders with like a few minutes to go when you're already well and truly smashed. Handing out little notes. What is the point, mate? You're just trying to look like you know what you're doing again, and you don't need to be a rocket scientist, or you don't need to be a Stephen Hawking. My name's Stephen Hawking. You don't need to be an Einstein to know. You just don't know what you're doing, mate. You really don't. It's embarrassing. You're embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself. And just last night's game. This is just one of a gazillion examples. Last night, 81st minute, we're 1-0 down. We're chasing a game. You need to find a way to win. All right. Yes, he had to make an earlier substitution with Esteban after 15, 16 minutes because he's done his hamstring. So I'm led to believe. So Garnacho, hero, superstar, that guy is. He had to come on. Pointless. Might as well not have brought him on. Might as well just played with 10 men because he done nothing like most of the players. But 81st minute, takes off Fofana and Hato. You bring on Achimpong and Chalobah. Now, I've got no problem with Achimpong and Chalobah playing. But why are you taking off 2 defenders and bringing on 2 defenders when you're chasing the game? Again, some people, because we didn't have much to bring on up front. Well, it makes no difference, does it? It's irrelevant. Why are you just substituting defenders when you need to score a goal? When you're 1-0 down and you're chasing a game? Why are you not trying to do something up top? Delap, decrap, invisible, useless, waste of time again, a ghost, a complete ghost, right? So why didn't you just at least bring Mark Gui on for 10, 15, 20 minutes? He couldn't have been any worse than Liam decrap. So if you're going to try something, bring on a striker at least, okay? There's no point when you're chasing a game Swapping defenders for defenders. What does that do for you in the offence, in the attack? Nothing. Pointless. Please tell me. What sort of coach, what sort of elite coach, as Ed Barley calls him, or thinks he's elite anyway, brings on defenders, takes off defenders and brings on defenders. Now, if you're winning 2-0 with a few minutes to go, you want to hold a lead, don't you? So you might change up and refresh your defenders or add to the defenders. Not when you're losing. At home in the Premier League, 1-0 to Manchester United, fighting for a Champions League spot, which we ain't going to get. Well done, Rosinia. That just shows your inability to do things right with your man management and your in-game management. You're just shocking, mate. And then when we see you, the amount of times the camera's panning to you and you're writing stuff down on your magic notebook with your magic pen. What are you really writing on that? I must not be shit. I must not be shit. It's like you've been punished at school and you've been given lines. Write this 500 times. I must not be shit. I am not good enough to be coach at Chelsea. Is that what you're writing on your notepad? I am an embarrassment to myself and this football club. I mean, a lack of enthusiasm in the guy as well. I mean, a burst balloon with diarrhea dripping out of it has got more enthusiasm than Liam Rosinia. You know, the one that wants you to play with Lego. The one that wants to take his gloves off and clap so you can hear his claps of appreciation better, to build up confidence in your players. This bloke, the Lego maker and the glove hand clapping merchant. The enthusiasm. There's more enthusiasm in a wet fart. And then there's, in your press conferences, Liam Rosinia, in your pre and post match interviews and just interviews in general, the waffle, the scripted waffle that comes down from the hierarchy. Not your words, the scripted waffle, the bangers and mash bullshit crap that comes out of your mouth and the excuses. It's embarrassing. And it's not just what comes out of your mouth, it's the sound of your voice as well, Rosinia. It's grating, mate. It's irritating. It's like a bad dose, a bad case of thrush, mate. You're an irritating see you next Tuesday, geezer. Just stop. You're embarrassing. You're cringeworthy, mate. You're like Arteta. That shit comes out your mouth. You're cringeworthy, right? But you're not just embarrassing us. You're embarrassing yourself, mate. Do you ever go home and watch your interviews? Do you not cringe yourself with the shit that comes out? Yeah. Do you not sit there and think, why did I say that? Why am I being forced to say that? Why am I letting them get away with forcing me to say this shit? It's the same crap. Do you think we're that stupid to believe anything that comes out of your mouth? We don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth or the owner's mouths. It's all crap, mate. It's lies. It's bullshit. Just keep it zipped. Stop embarrassing yourself and stop making us cringe, mate. Stop insulting our intelligence. Stop mugging us off. All right? Surely you want some respect. Well, respect us. Respect our intelligence. Will ya? We're sick of it. Shut up, you melt. Oh, let's move on. Yeah, I mean, I've heard other people say it and I agree with it. You just sound like some sort of college or university lecturer trying to make yourself. We know you've got a brain in your head. We know you're a nice guy, mate. We know you've got intelligence overall. But you just haven't got the football nous, the football intelligence. That we require, all right? So why do you always sound like some sort of university lecturer? Give giving a speech to students, like philosophising. You overdo it, mate. That's cringeworthy. We know you're intelligent, but you're trying to come across as some like super amazing Mensa king with your bullshit philosophising. What's your name? Socrates or something? Shut up, mate. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of you. I'm sick and tired of Blue Coat, Clear Lake, Bowley, Egg Barley, all the mugs. Stewart, Winstanley, all of them. Shields, the whole lot. Sick and tired of them. And again, totally unqualified, far too inexperienced, never been a winner as a player or a coach. Right, as a player, played 23 games for Bristol City. Okay, high class. Right, no disrespect to Bristol City, but lower league football. Fulham, 79 games. They weren't really top flight and buzzing at the time, were they? Torquay on loan, 10 games. Yeah, another high quality side you played for. Reading, 64. Yeah, they're up there in the Premier League, aren't they? They're high quality, experience and all that. Yeah. Ipswich on loan, 29. They were in the lower leagues at the time. Hull City, 144 games. Yeah, most of that, if not all, was in the Championship and that, wasn't it? And then finishing off at Brighton and Hove Albion for 44 games. How many of those games were in the top flight, Liam? Yeah, 393 games, apparently. So it says. And 4 goals. So you didn't play, for starters, high quality, high level football, did you? Let's go on to your coaching. Derby County in the Championship as interim. Didn't do too well there. Wasn't that great, was it? Then you went to Hull City between 22 and 24. Didn't do an amazing job there. You actually got sacked from that job. So, again, you couldn't cut it, even in the Championship, right? So, that was that. Strasbourg, very mid, 24 to 26. Well, January 26. It's only just into January. So, just over a year, really, with Strasbourg. Being a good boy already for Blue Co. Being a puppet. Being trained for the bigger job at Chelsea. That's what that was. That was your training. That was your apprenticeship at Strasbourg to see if you could be a butt kisser, an arse licker, a yes man puppet. And you succeeded. Because when Maresca had enough, you were straight in the door. Before anyone could blink, you're straight in the door. Done your apprenticeship. Well done. And now you're at Chelsea. So any of that, does that any of that tell anyone out there that he's good enough for the job at Chelsea? No, he's not. So people saying, oh, give him time. He's only been a couple of months and all that. Fuck that. He doesn't deserve to be there in the first place. Let that sink in. All right. Should not be here at all. Hasn't earned his stripes. Okay. Got no medals on his chest to suggest he deserves this position as Chelsea head coach. All right, so he gets no time. And since then, the performances, the results, the position we're in just proves he is out of his depth massively. He doesn't have what it takes. He hasn't got what it takes to get us winning games on a consistent basis. And he hasn't got the ability and the skills to get us out of a hole when we fall in one. He can't change it up. His tactics, they ain't got any. But then again, are they all his tactics? Do you want a guy there who's excellent at his job, knows what he's doing? Or do you want a good boy, little sausage, like Rosinio does as he's told by his gaffers? Because that's all he is. What do you want? To be elite, you need to have elite management, team, directors, or just one director, like a Peter Kenyon, all right, like we had under Roman for many years. Brilliant, he was. And a great owner, not owners, not a consortium of wankers, of thieves, scumbags, liars, not a consortium of them. One great owner, like a Roman Abramovich, a great director, Peter Kenyon, a great coach, like a Jose Mourinho or an Ancelotti or an Antonio Conte. And then great players, elite players, like a Lamps, like a Terry, like a Drogba, like a Cech, like an Ashley Cole. Even before that, a Zola, a Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Or even more recent, Hazards, Thiago Silvas. Blah, 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 blah. We've got nothing like that now. So there you go. That's the state of that, isn't it? So he's achieved nothing. We've got nothing. So 100% completely out of his depth. But you've got to take, he's to blame for some of it, but most of the blame goes to the owners, Blueco and Clearlake. Who employed him? Ask yourselves that. Who employed Rosinia? Why did they employ Rosinia? We know the answers, don't we? And the answers ain't right, are they? They're wrong answers. I mean, we come out of Rosinia, who we know should be gone. Should be gone. Out the door. Quicker than he came in. But they rate him. They rate him. But they only think this. They only think that. They think he's got the attributes. This is what Igbali said the other day. First time he's spoken in 4 years. Funny enough, when his shit's really hitting the fan because of the protest. Yeah, coincidence. They think he's got the attributes. Not he has, so they're not 100% on him either. If you only think. They think he's got what it takes to take us further. Think again. So you're not even 100% on your own gaffer that you're saying you're keeping at the club. Work that out. Just work that. It doesn't make sense. That's 2 and 2 adding 7, isn't it? This is just a few things by the owners, right? I mean, the list is endless. There's going to be loads of stuff I've missed, but just some. Forced Thomas Tuchel out, right? Because he didn't agree with them nosing in, coming in the changing rooms, interrupting this, getting involved in, team decisions and tactical decisions, everything, just poking their nose in. Didn't agree with the process, right? Wanted certain players, didn't get them, right? This is a Champions League winning gaffer. A guy that won the Champions League for us with sanctions and bans and all the government shit going on and the complete takeover and the lack of funds for a while, right? This is a gaffer that some people still slate. When if you actually look at the facts, you realise he was brilliant for us because he is an elite coach. So they forced him out, right? Cleared out our medical team, right? Brought in a private company called Remedy. Not a proper professional footballing medical team, but a company from outside who deal with like famous people, Hollywood people, people in the music industry, people like Billie Eilish, right? This is what we're looking at now, okay? Not our own medical team, but bringing outsiders in. Cleared out all our youth coaches who were brilliant. Now we use a London-based charity and academy foundation called Kinetic to deal with that. So you're bringing in outside stuff, and they sort of connected to Joe Shields in some way as well. So he's bringing his mates in. Funny that, isn't it? Right. So starting to clear everything out, completely gutting the club. This is Blueco, right? Apart from Reece James, completely cleared out our whole 2021 Champions League winning team. This is a team, not all of it was great, but they were unified, right? They won us the Champions League, which is no mean feat, is it? But no, one existing member of that team, Reece James. So they cleared that out. They're gutting something that was working, all right? They were gutting something that was winning. Why do that? Why completely clear it out? So it's Reece James, the only survivor really. Can't really include Chalobah because he was still more of a youth player. Right? Sold all the club's assets to get some money. women's team, training ground, hotels, car parks, etc. The list goes on. There's even more there that they've sold to themselves to make money. Loopholes. You know, one loophole of dozens that they've done, and the FA had to sort of clamp down on in the end. Cleared out our quality directors, replaced them with mid-talented, mid-quality, mid-level scumbags like your Stewarts, your Wyn Stanleys, your Joe Shields, etc. The plethora of directors. Well, you only need one to do the job, right? Maybe have a little assistant as well, at worst. But we've got more than I can even think of, right? We've taken out over 1.3 billion. Again, let this sink in. 1.3 billion in loans, plus massive interest on those loans. When we're not even started paying off these loans. We're struggling to pay just the interest on these loans. Massive end of season financial year losses every season, like hundreds of millions losses, including 24-25 season pre-tax loss of 262 million. Premier League record. Yeah, another record we want, isn't it? Yeah, well done. So, and then they're hemorrhaging on average £10.4 million a season, and that's been since 2022, so 4 years now. £10.4 million on average a week we are hemorrhaging out of this club. You add that to the hundreds of millions losses in every financial year, plus the 1.3 billion in loans, plus the interest, plus all other monies that we've spent. You know, we spent over almost 2 billion on an absolute disaster of a squad. Using AI and data for scouting and game tactics, taking out all the human side of it, relying on a computer that knows about emotions and skills and stuff. Do me a favour. I'll give you another example of a team that use all this. Burnley, look where they are. Don't work, does it? Never has worked, never will work. AI and data. You need the human element. You need people with experience in coaching, in playing, whatever, with proper qualifications. You know, you press a button. Computer says no. Do me a favour. You got the scandal with Todd Bowley and his Vivid Seats and his Ticketmaster and all that stuff. He sort of pulled another little scam there, hasn't he? Pulled another little loophole because he was a majority shareholder in Vivid Seats and he's chairman and an owner of a football club. He's had to sell a few of his shares, so he's a minor shareholder now to get away with it. Otherwise, he could have got in trouble. Very clever. It's only just recently as well he sold off a few shares. So yeah, more dodgy scheming behind the scenes. They're scoundrels. They're Arthur Daly's. If you know the series Minder, Arthur Daly, ducker and diver, bit of a scam merchant, bit of a schemer, you know, a bit wee, a bit woo. Yeah, but they're on an elite level of that, the dirty level. Calling fans customers. We're not customers. We're the life and soul of the club. You ain't got a club. There are no football clubs without the fans. We are the energy. We are the life source. We're not customers. We're fans. We're supporters. We're your engine. Okay? We're your fuel. We're your light. So don't insult us like that. Admitting making profit is more important than winning or losing on the pitch. So, in other words, you don't care. Just get top four. We'll settle for that. If you win a cup here and there, whatever, we're not really fussed with the cups. They've even said that they're not really fussed about cup competitions. Top four, Champions League, winning the Premier League or whatever, doesn't even exist. Just qualifying for Champions League. That's all they're expecting. Mid-table mentality. Right. mugging off fans, constantly insulting us and our intelligence. Got media in their pockets. It's rife. The brown envelopes. All the media. I mean, some of them are now starting to turn against them and starting to be honest and tell the fucking truth because they got nowhere to go. They're stuck in a corner. They're stuck down an alley with nowhere to turn. That alley's got dark and dirty for them. Only seeing the light, not because they want to be honest, because they got no choice. But they've been taking it, you know, backhanders, the brown envelopes, the perks, whatever. From Blue Co, from Clear Lake. Paying out for lies, narrative setting. Trying to mug us off, fool us, gaslight us. You know, all the PR lies, the broken promises consistently, every day of every week of every month of all the 4 seasons they've been here. Lies, 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 lies. Constantly. Mugging us off. Treating us like dirt. Treating us like fixed shit, like we're nothing. Like we're that bit of chewing gum that's stuck in the grooves under their trainers. You Americans out there, sneakers. They're trainers because you're training them, yeah. It's abysmal. It's disgusting. And it's not on. And we've had enough. So you've got Rosinia, you've got your medical team, you've got your directors, and you've got your owners. You think the players are the worst thing at the club. They're not the worst thing. 90% of them are shit and not good enough, yes. But there's worse things above them. Like the coaching, like the medical, like the directors, like the owners, number one. All wrong uns, all got to go. I mean, the list goes on. And it will continue to go on and on and on and on and on, as long as all this still remains at our club. Our club is dead. Okay? The club is skint. The club is in an extremely frail position financially. And that's an understatement. We've got nothing. They've spunked up all the money they had before, and now the loans. Everything is gone. To get money, we've got to sell players. We are a sell to buy club now. Who are we going to sell? I mean, there's a few people you can sell straight off. But some of them are not going to be worth much at all. I mean, all this shit about, oh, we're going to get proven experienced players. How are we going to get these players? We're not going to get them. You're gaslighting us. Again, you're lying. We won't be able to afford the transfer fees. We won't be able to afford their wages. And unless we pay good wages, more than your cap of 150 grand a week, if you're not going to raise that, no elite player will want to come and play for peanuts. And for them, it's peanuts. Not for people like me, but professional Premier League footballers, elite footballers, 150 grand a week is peanuts. It's not going to attract them. So that muds that one. And what elite player with any sense is going to want to come to this shit show? This process that does not work. This process that stinks. This process that has got us in deep shit financially. This process has got us in deep shit on the pitch. So transfer fees, wages, the process, the stench and the cancer at the club. What elite player is going to want any of that? So this rubbish about elite quality proven players coming in, behave. And their idea of proven quality is people like Tosin, do me a favour, or Alex Scott at Bournemouth. No disrespect to the guy, he is a good player, but he is not going to improve you leaps and bounds and make you a force in the game of football, is he? He'll hold his own. He's got talent. But we've already got some players like that. And where's it got us? It's not enough. That's not elite. All right? So don't believe any of these lies about them. Oh, we're going to tweak a few. It needs more than tweaking. It needs complete rebuilding. In fact, it needs all of you, Bluecoat, Clear Lake, and everyone who you've employed to go, and someone else to come in and rebuild. Not tweak. Fuck your tweaking. It won't make any difference. Okay? No difference at all. And you've got nothing to tweak with. No money at the club. And to make the club better, you need money. You need resources. You need eliteness at the club. We've got none of that. None of it. So don't give me any of your waffle. The Egg Barley the other day, giving the shit. I mean, it's not been a good few weeks, is it? Because you lied about not being able to sell the club. It's now been proven. It's out there. The world knows you can sell the club. You lied, because you always lie. Your finances have come out. It's embarrassing for you, isn't it? It's embarrassing. It's a slap in the face. All your investors now are like, whoa, what's all this? These hundreds of £1 million losses. These 10.4 million losses on average every week. These massive loans that you've taken out with this, that, and the other. Panicking behind the scenes. We know you're panicking. And then your pay rises. Let's get on to that. You've skint the club. You've got the club in a 10 times worse debt than Roman Abramovich ever did, and in record time. And yet you're still paying yourselves, you guys at the top of the hierarchy, 80% pay rise. You don't even deserve a 0.08% pay rise. In fact, you deserve a deduction in your wages, in your earnings. 80%. That's disgusting. You filth. You thieves. And you're paying your directors, who are fucked up 99% of the time. They haven't got a clue. They haven't got a clue. And you've paid them 60% pay rise. Fuck mine. Getting paid 60% more on your normal wage, which is already too much, for being absolute cockwombles. And then you're only paying the rest of the staff and the players 6%. I know that the players haven't been great, but they've had to take all the weight of the whole club on their shoulders, going out on the pitch trying to play with all that shit above them that you've created. And you're giving yourselves 80% and your directors 60%, when the club is in the mud financially. That is despicable. I was sickened. And you've still got people out there crying for Rosinia, crying for Blueco, toxics, plastics, mongs, melts, muppets, morons. Just, how can you be supporting this? How much more does it take for you to realise that these lot are wrong uns and they have fucked our club, killed our club? I mean, on top of this, you've got Todd Bowley, right? Not only is he an owner and raking in a bit of money from that, he's also on 20 million a year, normal wages. Another 20 million being paid out. So we're as chairman. So we're paying him 20 million a year as chairman when he's already an owner. That shouldn't be happening, should it? We know that shouldn't be happening. But it is. Another scam. I think we've got one more year and then it gets switched over to someone from Clear Lake or whatever. So they're taking it in turns to rake in another 20 million a year in their pockets on top of what they're personally earning for owning the club. So yeah, the club's in the shitter. I mean, this is just a few things. I could go on. I've been going on an hour now already. But these are issues that need pushing out there. The state of the club financially, and the state of the club behind the scenes in general, and the state of the club on the pitch. The team's dead. The coach is useless. The directors are useless. The owners are useless and scumbags and a cancer. And that protest yesterday is just the start against this regime, this tyranny. Everyone needs to come on board. Again, last night we get dross. I didn't expect any more. Stupid me thinking we'll score a goal, even though I predicted us to lose. Stupid of me. We couldn't score in a brothel. You could get 2 for 1. Happy hour at a brothel, and they still wouldn't score. Freebies, they still wouldn't score. The whole setup. Everything about Rosinia, everything about the scripts and the AI and the data and the orders and the puppetry and the yes man nonsense and the controlling, to the finances, to the AI, to the medical, to the youth systems and everything, just everything. It's too much. They have to go. Rosinia has to go. His coaching staff need to go. You need to get a proper medical team in. You need to get proper coaching system in there by humans, not this kinetic thing and AI scouting and all this shit. You need to know, we need to have directors in that know about football as well as money, finances. And we need owners or a owner to come in who cares about football and not so much about the profits. We got none of that. And we need players of better quality and not just mainly kids. Building a nursery school, building a kindergarten, bringing in kids that are gambles, that have got the possibility of making it. Proper gambles. That's all they are. They're prospects, possible prospects, not guaranteed. Hit the road running. Bosh, there they go. Come in the door, start doing the job. No, we've got to wait a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or never at all in some cases. And then what you do, you'll sell them a season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons down the line. You want to keep the players, I've heard, to build an elite squad. Well, you don't, because we're stuck with a sell to buy policy now because you've skint the club. And you've been doing that anyway. Anyone that's come in, most of them have gone within 2 seasons. So it's rubbish, more lies. You're never going to keep and build a squad for success because you've got them coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out constantly every season, whether it's in the summer or in a January window. In, out, shake it all about. You do the okey cokey and you fuck a club up. That's what you're all about. So, yeah, we lost to United last night. Expected. Where we've got 2 other teams on the same points as us now on 48 points. We've got other teams on our arse. We've got a few games left now, and none of them are easy. Well, no game's easy for us anyway. We could play Accrington Stanley and still struggle right now. We could play Sutton United, Carshalton Athletic, Dorking Wanderers, and still struggle with the way our team is. The team's dead. They don't want to know. They've had enough. Some have spoken out. More want to speak out, but they're too shit scared because they're on their NDAs and they've got to be quiet once they get in trouble. They signed on that silly dotted line, didn't they? They're controlled. Even Reece James is controlled now with his contract extension. The only one that wasn't. So, do you really think we're going to qualify for the Champions League? No, we ain't. That's done. Season's dead. We ain't going to win the FA Cup. I'd be extremely surprised if we even get past Leeds United into the final. That's going to be a struggle and a half. If we get to the final, we ain't winning it. Even if a miracle happens and Southampton beat Man City in the other semi-final and we get Southampton in the final, we probably still won't win it. But I doubt very much we'll get past Leeds in that. We ain't getting hardly any points now for the rest of the season in the Premier League. And we're talking about Champions League. Forget Champions League. I don't even think we're going to get Europa. I doubt if we'll even get the conference. because there's teams on our right high up there with us and on our arse, right, that have got better form. They've got and they've got a better running. They've got better systems. They run better. Clubs that are run better. They know what they're doing. We don't. We're lost. The club's in the mud. So I wouldn't surprise me if we don't even qualify for Europa or Conference League. And I don't really want that Conference League pile of shit. We've won it. That's it. Done. Not a great thing. It's just nice to have. It just means we've won it all. Or we had won it all. Because we're not winning anything under this. Not anything of any calibre under this hierarchy. Under this tyranny regime. So don't be surprised. I mean, there's very few points between us and 14th, 15th place now. That's how shocking it is. So, far I'm concerned, the season's done. Season's done. It's over. All we've done really this season is survive and stay in the Premier League. We've avoided relegation. We can't go down. Wow. That's it. That's our achievement this season. You want this season after season after season. And I'll tell you what, we carry on with this lot and the way they run things, we're going to end up like Tottenham. We're going to be sitting in that relegation zone. We go into next season with the same process and the same policy of buying shit, buying kids and shit. That's if we can buy anyone, because we're going to have to sell again before we buy. All right. And Rosinia still at the helm. With the same mindset as this season, next season, we could end up down in relegation. Don't say it won't happen. You wouldn't have thought it happened to Tottenham. Look at other teams that have gone down over the last 10, 20 years. Manchester City, Aston Villa, West Ham, Leeds. And now Spurs in the mud. You're never too big to struggle. And it ain't just a struggle now. It's a death. That's what it is. It's a death. And Bluecoat and Clear Lake are the main cause. Everything that happens at our club stems from them. The top, the pinnacle, up there, right at the top of that pyramid is them. And everything feeds down from them. Anything from like the cleaners, near the bottom of the pyramid, to the owners. Everything stems from them. It just filters down through other people and other sections. So the ones to blame for everything at our club is Bluecoat, Clear Lake. Bedad Barley, Bowley, Wiss, Walter, Feliciano. Them, Bluecoat, Clear Lake, and all their other little subsidiaries, all their other little companies that they all own between them. And their investors. They're the ones to blame. Then you can start blaming the directors. Then you can start blaming the coaching and medical staff. And then you can start blaming the players. But it has to filter through many to get down to the players. But it starts with Bluecoat and Clear Lake. Wrong uns. Killed our club. Fucked our club. And those guys protesting yesterday, well done. Don't let the media play it down. There was probably a minimum of 2,000 people there. Well done to everybody. Well done to the Chelsea fans that attended. Well done to the Strasbourg fans that attended. Come all the way over here. Paying airfare, lodgings and expenses and all that. To come and support the cause. Support the protest of Bluecoat, Clear Lake out. Respect to you guys. Absolutely amazing to you all. Good to see people like Joey Knight, Johnny Minerals, Matisse was there, even Lewis G. Ugh. He was there. Got to give it to him, they were there. Chelsea Fan TV, Alex, I think he was there. Charlie off Blue Brother. There's plenty of them there. And all the other guys and girls. Well done. Respect to you. But we need more. We need more protests. I would suggest try and get one organised before the Spurs game. That'll be another a good chance to get our point across. Big game like that against Spurs, which we'll probably lose for the first time in about 3 zillion years, needs to be done again. We need to be relentless. And to all you toxics and plastics who are still going along with these mugs running our club, get out, get your head out the sand, get off the fence and fuck off. Just get out. You're not worthy of wearing a crest on your chest, all right? You're not worthy of wearing the Chelsea shirt on your backs. You're not Chelsea supporters. You're Blue Coast supporters. And whilst you're either just sitting on the fence or head in the sand, you're still not a Chelsea supporter. You're still not with us fighting against the enemy. Therefore, you are an enemy. They need to go. Rosinia, all his staff, the directors, the owners, get out. There's enough reasons there. And we're going to get more PR. I don't know what PR bullshit Rosinia came out with after the game last night. Didn't want to hear it. I've not heard anything this morning. I don't want to hear it. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of what comes out of his mouth. I'm sick and tired of what comes out of the club. I'm sick and tired of what they feed into the media and they start bullshitting with their brown envelope rubbish. I'm sick and tired of it. We've had enough. The lies, the deceit, the theft, the cancer as a whole, everything. You destroyed us. Get out. Guys, have a great Sunday, what's left of it. I'm really hoping Manchester City beat the Gooners this afternoon. It wouldn't surprise me if the Gooners scrape a real dodgy, dirty result, but I really hope they don't. All right, I want their bottles to keep bottling. All right, I want Manchester City to put Arteta's fire out. All right, so come on, City, later on today. Do it. Makes no difference whether Everton or Liverpool win. We won't catch Liverpool in the league. And if Everton win, they're right on our arse. So we're fucked either way, aren't we? I mean, we're just fucked full stop. The club's fucked. The team's fucked. Us fans have been fucked on. So, yeah. I'm going to stop waffling. Hour and 12 minutes. Christ. But again, there's so much. The only reason it's taken me so long is because the owners give us so much to talk about and moan about, and none of it's good. We want to be happy Chelsea fans. We were happy for a very long time until you walked in and bought the club, or stole the club, should I say. And we all know that's dodgy dealings between you, Rain Group, and the UK government. Yeah, some backhanders there, wasn't there? Some special favours. You all fucking Epsteins, that's what you are. All criminals. Oh. Destroyed a perfectly good club, a thriving club, a successful club. All for what? That and egos and reputations. Wrong uns. Anyway, guys, enjoy your Sunday. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. I need one. One is extremely parched. So, yeah, it ain't going to change. We're going to remain in the mud. Don't expect us to improve because it's not going to happen. And keep fighting. Keep fighting against this lot. Relentless. More protests. Again, salute to all you who went yesterday. Win, lose, or draw. Blue Co, Clear Lake, out. See you later, guys. Be back later.